Do I need to check in, Bruce?
Over there.
I'll get it.
I don't want to hit the gavel until you... Okay, we're going to get started with the regular meeting for January 3rd, 2023. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. The meeting of January 3rd, 2023, with instructions for internet access, was included in a meeting notice sent to the Brown County Times and the Carrier Post on January 6th, 2022, and advertised in said newspapers on January 9th, 2022, and January 12th, 2022, respectively, posted on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 6th, 2022, and has remained continuously posted as required under statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Can we get a flag salute?
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we get a roll call?
Mayor Klaus,
Here.
Mr. Montgomery,
Here.
Mr. Levinson,
Here.
Mrs. Gilmore,
Here.
Mrs. Evans.
Here.
Okay, minutes, we want approval of the regular committee minutes for December 13th, 2022.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Montgomery,
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore,
Yes.
Mr. Levinson,
Yes.
Mrs. Evans,
I abstain.
and Mayor Klaus.
Yes. Okay, reports. We're going to take all the reports at once, but first I want to hear from our EMS. Come on up, guys.
Good evening, council. Thank you for your time to see myself and Captain McKenzie. Just wanted to introduce ourselves. We're your new line officers for the Hainesport Emergency Squad. We also have a new president. His name is Robert Quay. He's unable to be with us today. But moving forward, we look forward to working with the council. We look forward to working with the new elected councilwoman. We have a lot of goals. I know the squad has been asking for a lot of time and patience while we try and rebuild and regain some footwork. However, we are making progress. You might not see it steadily in front of you, but behind the scenes, we have 10 people who just graduated the EMT Academy. We have slated for them to test sometime in the next couple weeks with the National Registry. We've just taken another 5 or 6 new applications from within the residents of Hainesport. So we have stuff moving forward. It's just unfortunately things take some time. About me, this isn't my first rodeo, per se, as a chief officer. I've served as a chief in the Township of Pemberton, where I recreated their volunteer force back in 2005, building a volunteer membership from 3 or 4 members to about 45 strong living in town within an 18-month time. My last stint, I was chief in the city of Beverly, where again, I rebuilt a volunteer base from 4 or 5 members to a volunteer squad that was able to answer 95% of their calls, sitting in an ambulance in their driveway within 7 minutes. So I believe I possess the ability that's backed by my background. I have Captain McKenzie as my right-hand man moving forward in the year. McKenzie comes with us as a chief officer from Capitol Health's Emergency Services in Trenton City. So again, my leadership staff is very well versed. President Quay is a Galloway Township career EMS provider as well. So we have moved around some faces. We still kept our old Don still up there with us. He's serving as our lieutenant to kind of keep us in tune with how you guys do it here in Hainesport, because we're new to you guys, and you don't know us and we don't know you. So whenever there's new stuff, we're awkward. And Don's here to kind of help us bridge that, and why we try and take the squad into 2023. We are the only all-volunteer squad in the state of New Jersey that currently operates with all advanced scope medicine that is available to EMTs. Our squad members are able to administer epinephrine pens, albuterol, CPAP, glucose, along with a plethora of other stuff that not every agency in the state does. So we have taken a lot of turns, you just might not see it. We have revamped policies and procedures. I work full-time for the Department of Community Affairs, assigned to the State Fire Marshal's office, so I'm very versed in regulatory requirements, and our policies and procedures are coming up to meet that kind of standard. The residents of Hainesport deserve that kind of level, whether it's volunteer or paid. I believe volunteerism is not dead, and if you guys bear with us for a little bit more time, I believe you will be more than happy with the results that myself and Captain McKenzie are able to deliver to you guys. We just ask for your support. I know Mayor Klaus had made some references at a couple interactions with my captain regarding some submittals that were submitted for budgetary requests. We do have an ambulance that's over 20 years old that I believe former President Litton submitted in for possible budget replacement, and there were some questions. So if anything is, if there are any questions, we have an open door, myself and Captain McKenzie. We are available. We can meet daytime, nighttime, it doesn't matter, whatever needs to get done to ensure our residents of Hainesport Township are protected at the lowest cost.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate your service. Everybody, we're very fortunate to have you.
Captain McKenzie, and I'm sorry, and Chief Bush,
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you both for the CPR class that you both gave my wife and I. It was a great course. And it was
With
very
that, I
fun.
mean, I was going to say that, I kind of slipped my mind. With the national events that we saw unfold last night on national television, with the Buffalo Bills game, reiterates the need for early for training in CPR and early defibrillation. The only reason that Buffalo Bills man is alive today is because people are trained in CPR.
Yep. Thank you.
So we will continue to offer those classes as long as the residents of Hainesport wish to see them. We have numerous instructors that are on our staff within our agency.
I took the class.
Myself, Instructor McKenzie, Squad Member Bush, Chief Mason from Mount Holly Fire Department, who's one of our members. We're all instructors and a plethora of material that is available to keep our costs down in the squad to be able to do majority of our training in-house like we did the EMT class. So that's a big update when EMT class costs $2,200 a student, and we just put 10 of them through the class. And we were able to do that at a fraction of the cost because of our in-house instructors. So, but unfortunately, 220 hours doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. But we see new horizons. We just hope for your patience. Just a little bit longer, and you may start to see some of that benefit.
Thank you for your volunteer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I want to give you a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mackenzie, you want to say something?
Sir.
Do you want to say anything?
No,
Okay.
just be here to back up the,
Great. I love you.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, the reports, we're going to take them all together. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, we're going to open up comments from the public. This is agenda items only. Do we have any takers? Anybody want to come up and speak on the agenda? Anybody online?
There are two people online. If they would like to say anything on agenda items, if you can unmute yourself.
Okay, with that, I'm going to close comments from the public. Okay, we're going to talk about the resolutions. Resolution 2023-33-1, establishing a temporary 2023 budget. Can I get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we establish the temporary 2023 budget.
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Resolution 2023-34-1, award a contract for a postal machine rental. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Resolution 2023-35-1, authorizing the issuance of raffle license to the Hainesport PTO.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Before we vote on this, I'd like to just say something about the raffle. Any volunteer organization needs to, if they want to have a 50/50 or something like that, needs to get approval from the state and then needs to get approval from the town in which it's in. And there's a lot of paperwork that has to go through. It's not a big deal. It's just a little paperwork. So we certainly, I want to just make this in the public for everyone to realize, you just have to go through these things. It just takes a little bit of time. We approve things very quickly here in Hainesport. It's not going to take a lot of time. But we want to encourage all the volunteer organizations to continue to do things to try to raise money for their causes. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to open it up. What's that?
Got to vote, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I preempted the vote.
Yep. We got a motion and a second?
We have a motion.
Okay,
Second.
well, we want to vote on it.
Second.
Mr. Levinson?
Yeah, well, I seconded.
Okay. Mrs. Evans, did you motion?
I thought I seconded
You
it.
second?
I thought you
All
did
right,
too.
Okay, very good, my mistake.
I'm new at this, so.
No, you're right. You're
All right, motion to approve,
Okay.
Ms. Evans seconds.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, with that, we're going to open it up to comments from the public, limited to 5 minutes, but you can speak about, they're not limited to the agenda. Does anybody want to come up and say a few words? Wow, how about anybody online?
You're still muted, so I'm going to say that's a no.
Okay, well, with that, I'm going to close that, and let's get comments from our administrator.
Hey. So I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news when everything is so happy and joyful, but unfortunately, that's part of my job. So we received notification from the Burlington County Commissioners Solid Waste Department, as we do every year, that our landfill costs are increasing again. If you recall, last year was the year that all the Burlington County municipalities had to re-sign agreements with Burlington County for the landfill program. And in that, there was an adjustment made to Section 4.02 of that agreement, which was modified to state that the base rate service charge was changed from a 2% municipal spending cap, or I should say a 2% cap of an increase, to, quote, may be adjusted by an amount to be determined by the county. I did an assessment, an evaluation since 2017 on what those rates were, and there's various types of waste classes, correct, right? So the one that affects us the most is type 10, which is municipal. That's our residents and our households. So waste class 10, 23, which is vegetative waste, 25, animal and food processing, so that affects our restaurants, right? And then 27, which is dry industrial waste from manufacturing, industrial, et cetera. So now the increase is, instead of 2%, it is now 9.26%. So we have gone from a base rate of $80.69 in 2022 to $87.15. So the taxes on that stay stable at $7.89, so you add that to each of the types of waste increases. So now the tipping fee is $95.04 a ton. So we have to increase our solid waste budget by 9.5% this year. So all of the waste classifications increased. 13 bulky waste, which is our second most, that's our large items that we pick up from our residents and we dispose of at the landfill, also went up 9.26%. And then construction and demolition waste, so that of course affects our businesses in town. All of this affects everything. So 9.26%. So this on top of, that's 9.26% to our local government. And then we also have an increase in healthcare costs of over $40,000, 23% to our state government. We also have a $16,000 water fee increase for this year. Our pension costs are also going up about $10,000, another state government increase. And then again, our 9.2% increase to our county government. So our increases to our governments, as well as, our private sector, is absolutely going to affect our budget for this year. I know there's always a policy debate on what we should or should not do, and I do reassure you that your professional team is going to make the best recommendation for the residents of Hainesport, but I would ask all of you to keep in the back of your mind starting today that we are facing a lot of increases in our budget this year. Thank you.
Paul, first of all, thank you for that report. Not good news, as you have like a number off the top of your head if we're looking at these percentage increases? I got to add all that. I wrote down some numbers, of course, and is there like a number of what the rough estimate you think is going to?
No, but fortunately, I think...
We're talking 40,000 for, you said 40,000 right off the get-go for the...
That's just the 23% increase. That
Right.
doesn't include our increases as
Right,
well.
yes.
So no, I don't, because fortunately, I guess the state realized after a lot of concerns voiced by municipalities throughout the state to our legislators, they did pass a statute or law for this year allowing certain things to be outside of the cap. So remember, we have the two different types of, we have the spending cap and we have the appropriations cap. So some of these items are going to be outside of the cap, so it's going to help us make these adjustments in our budgets. But we're looking at 17, 18% on certain areas that they're allowing to be put outside of the cap. I can't tell you what it is off the top of my head. I mean, we're just now working off the temporary budget, but...
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, but I was telling her earlier today that every time we ask Paul a question, it sounds like a real detailed question, she has an answer like in 30 seconds, so I just, so this is a little more difficult,
This
so,
is the,
yeah,
I
thank you.
mean, these will be based on your policy decisions, but, these are things that will be a factor, and we'll rely heavily, obviously, on our CFO as well as our auditor to guide us through the process.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Comments from our solicitor?
You got good news, John? Can you do it? Yeah, it's, it's not really that much further down you can go after that one.
My increase was not 23%. No, I just, happy 2023, and again, thank you all for the privilege of allowing me to sit here again this year. I really do consider it a privilege. I think you have a great town, and I'm happy to be part of your team. Thank you for that.
And John, we have the privilege of having the #1 rated municipal attorney in the United States serving us in Hainesport, so we thank you and appreciate you.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And what magazine was it in?
The municipal?
It was the John Gillespie
Magazine?
Journal.
John-
No, seriously though, it's...
U.S. News. U.S. News.
All right, let's go comments from the committee. Anna?
Well, you all heard my speech earlier on, so I don't really have a whole lot to add to that, apart from how wonderful it was to see all the residents come out tonight, and some of you still here for the real meeting, and that I'm looking forward to serving with these four wonderful people on my right. Happy New Year.
Bruce?
I would like to ditto that. Thank you, Anna. You just made it easy for me.
Leila?
Happy New Year, and don't forget to download the Hainesport Township app.
Ken?
I wanted to just Happy New Year, everyone, and thank you again for all coming, and welcome everyone in their new position, and best wishes. Wanted to specifically thank Paul Costco and Tara Wicker, John Gillespie, and I could go on and name all the other people, but I know I'll miss some people, and since they're not here, I'm going to just say, just have a wonderful, wonderful administration and number of people that we hire to be our professionals, and as Bruce said, the #1 rated municipal attorney, and he's humbled and grateful to work for us, and we're humbled and grateful that he's with us. So thank you again, John and Paula and Tara.
Okay, with that, I just want to say thank everyone again. Congratulations to Leila and Anna. And I'm so fortunate we have a great staff and administration here. And a little disappointing news, but I knew that was coming down the pike.
We knew something was...
But hey, you know what? That's where we're going to benefit from having a good staff, and our history of saving money in this town will help offset that. So that's why we have a surplus. That's why we do that. So again, thank you all, and I appreciate, I'm honored to be your mayor. And with that, we got to pay some bills.
Could I make a comment before we say that about the bills? There was something there that I just wanted to say, that we're paying a bill to pay for some repairs of sidewalk in the Claremont section of almost $31,000. And these were, again, items that of sidewalk, and Bruce Levinson and I talked about this when we had run a few years ago, about trees that were planted improperly, and where the old administration and the old developers from a long time ago, just, for whatever reason, it didn't turn out to benefit the citizens. So I was happy we were able to pay this bill now for that, so thank you.
So do we have a
I make a
motion?
motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. And with that, we will adjourn.
Make a motion.
Oh, we in the motion to adjourn, okay.
I second that.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all.